I'm in the heart of the City of London today to present the Startup Show. I'm going to be speaking to the founder of WELREX, a digital wealth management platform that has all its clients not here, but in the developing markets of the global south. So please join me for my interview with Yevgeni Agerd, the CEO and founder of WELREX, for the latest episode of the Startup Show. Yevgeni, welcome to the FT headquarters. It's very good to see you.
Thank you.
You were working before at Citigroup, one of the world's most prominent financial institutions. Did you feel that prevailing big bank culture, is that not really conducive to the kind of innovations that you hope to develop?
I loved my time at Citigroup, and Citigroup is an amazing school for me. Big bank culture has its strong sides and less strong sides, as we all know. I'm sure I'm not saying anything new here. Feels like innovation has to come almost from the top in the big bank culture. But the proposition that we developed is very much hinging on the current regulatory climate, the legal climate, the API economy, and of course it's not something that big bank culture was able to accommodate when those plans were coming up. So with all respect to big bank culture, they're good at what they do, and we really like their lending propositions and their custody propositions. In the big picture, we must admit that client experience is best addressed by probably a player outside of big bank culture.
Because it's very interesting, Yevgeni, because 10 years ago, you're talking about client experience. All of the big banks were saying, we have to prepare for a major sea change. We have to prepare for our advisors being replaced by robots. And that's what all the industry studies were saying, that robo-advice would replace the traditional client advisor model. Yet that hasn't really happened. Why do you feel this hasn't happened?
During my Global Executive MBA, we had the privilege of listening to one prominent researcher who actually broke down robo-advisory sector into very granular amount of detail. And the robo topic has been very hot, and it has been a darling for a lot of VCs. And we know a plethora of startups which came to being on this wave, and we know a big story of Nutmeg that was highly PR'd all over the place with a sale to JP Morgan. But to cut the long story short, the unit economics of the robo-advisor business as such is not profitable. So the customer lifetime value is much smaller than client acquisition cost. And this turns into quite a challenge which can only be dealt with by a VC with very deep pockets. So we don't believe in robots taking over. We believe in technology augmenting humans, but the final decision needs to be done by a human. So the good analogy would be an airplane. You have a lot of technology, but you still have a pilot. So we really believe that this is the way forward.
So in that analogy, the advisors could potentially be the passengers on the plane because they're benefiting from the technology that you have that the pilot's using.
True, but I wouldn't go as far as passengers, because you still need second pilot for the first pilot to perform very well. And we can speculate on different sorts of analogies, but the proposition that we've designed is very much down to the latest, the most advanced technological tools helping the investment team, the advisor. But in the end of the day, especially in the non-standard situations, you really need to apply some abstract thinking, which today is very difficult for a machine.
Well, this is the thing, when you talk about the latest technologies, and I went to your offices the other day at St. James's Square, and I was expecting to see the typical startup kids. I should have known from the location, because it's not in Hoxton, it's not in Shoreditch, it's in the traditional private banking territory of Mayfair. And instead of, your guys wearing their hoodies, there's a load of middle-aged people who've worked for HSBC, for BlackRock, really for a lot of the major banks, and that's your team. It's really the gamekeepers turned poachers. Do you feel you have to have worked inside that industry to really be able to revolutionize it?
As cliche goes, you need to master the rules first to be able to break them. So you're absolutely right that the startup stereotype is a garage and 20-something bunch of kids in hoodies. But we all know that wealth management in this country is a highly regulated area, with the FCA complexity and with the operational complexity and the investment advice complexity. It's virtually impossible to take someone out of, selling pizza online via an app and ask them to revolutionize wealth management. It's just too sophisticated of an industry to be disrupted by an outsider, in my humble view. At the same time, the UK average startupper is much older than American. The consequences of getting a startup wrong in this country are also very different to the US. So I guess your observations are very much on the ball.
What's common with what's going on in the US in here is that the use of artificial intelligence is very central to your project. Yet we were speaking with your team that they think the quality of the data that's being gathered isn't yet as good, as high as they would like it to be, meaning that a large amount of human input is still necessarily on the investment side.
It's great when the machine can crunch a lot of data, but which data does it have access to? It's historical data. So extrapolating historical data into the future is not the best idea, as we all know. We remember long-term capital management. We remember where machines are incapable of out-of-the-box, so to speak, thinking. And that's where, once again, we believe that there is a lot that machine can help the human with, and there is a lot that machine can help to eradicate. Let's say investment analytics. We have armies of people that are anecdotally always right because they never tell us whether it's going to be up or down. Put some arbitrary price targets and many other things which are not necessarily taking place in reality. So to move away from all the subjectivity, machine is an amazing tool, but it's not always the solution. You still need a human, and you still need very experienced, highly sophisticated human to oversee the machine.
Well, I'm sure this conversation about digital wealth management, about the various models involved, is something we will keep coming back to. We've got our Innovation in Wealth Management conference coming up early next year, of which there'll be details on our website, and I hope to be inviting you back, Yevgeni, for further conversations. Thank you very much for the dialogue.
Thank you.